Welcome to the Global Interview. Thank you for listening. This is where you can keep up to date with all the latest news and information direct from leading creatives, leaders, and thinkers. We can help to keep you right up to date with all the latest information from interesting people who make a real difference in this globally connected world. You can find out more about the show at theglobalinterview.com. Enjoy the episode.
Annemarie Cross, founder, author and speaker of the Podcasting Queen. Annemarie Cross is an award-winning podcast host and producer, business and personal brand strategist and author of Industry Thought Leader, How to Go from Invisible to Influential and Profitable with a Podcast. Dubbed the Podcasting Queen, she is recognized as a pioneer in this space by her clients and community, after starting her first podcast in 2008. Over the years she's been listed among the top 25 podcasts for entrepreneurs, top 50 podcast for entrepreneurs, and top 100 small business podcasts worldwide by well-known and respected small business websites, including entrepreneur.com, while having two of her podcasts syndicated on national and international radio shows. Combining her love of technology, branding and digital media, she's been able to build a business, client base and support team that is truly global by harnessing the power of social media and online technologies, particularly podcasting. She now supports change makers and aspiring thought leaders cut through the noise and go from invisible to influential and profitable. With their own Thought Leader podcast where they can begin to nurture listeners into leads and ultimately paying clients from their very first episode. Who do you most admire in business? There are so many mentors I've learned from and admired over the years, and that it's hard to compile down to a succinct list of just a few. Currently, I'm listening to the following business owners and their podcasts as they always bring value with the information they share. Jennifer Allwood and Amy Porterfield. What companies or brands do you like or do you think are getting it right? As an Apple enthusiast, especially when Steve Jobs was still alive, I'd have to say from a brand and brand experience perspective, they got it right. What other brands would have consumers line up, sometimes for hours, or the day, before the launch of their product, just to be among the first to own one? Apple. What is the best advice you have ever received? Just do it. What drives or motivates you each day? Knowing that in some small way, I'm impacting and inspiring the world with my message and the work I do. What are your thoughts on the future of social media? Very excited with the new technologies being added to an already incredible choice. Over 10 years ago, we had limited options, especially when I first got into podcasting, and we were leveraging social media to amplify our message. Social media tools were limited, and businesses hesitant to use them. Now, the choice is plentiful. However, what's important is to have the right strategy in place to ensure you're using social media intentionally to ensure the best return on investment. Do you have a mentor or do you mentor anyone? Yes, I always have had a mentor in my business. And I am always happy to mentor others. How do you network? Mainly online, especially with the people I interview on my podcasts. I do have a select few groups that I meet with on a monthly basis. How did you get into this line of work and what advice would you have for someone looking to get into the same line of work? My background is in personal branding and positioning, previously in the career industry. When the GFC hit in 2008, a colleague and I started a podcast to be the voice of hope and inspiration amongst the doom and gloom of traditional media. 11 years on, while podcasting has become my full-time business, I continue to leverage my experience and expertise in personal branding to help businesses start their own thought leader podcast. Podcasting, while still a relatively young industry, is booming and we are seeing numerous businesses pop up everywhere trying to tap into the podcasting economy. The advice I'd have for people is this: don't think of monetizing podcasting in the way of sponsorships, but rather monetize your own message and expertise before you monetize someone else. You'll make a lot more money from selling your own products and services than you ever will selling a sponsor's product/services. What do you wish you had known when you started out? 11 years ago there was no one to help mentor us, especially how we could monetize our podcasts. We had to learn through lots of trial and error. So, back in 2008, when I started my first podcast, I wish I had have known the systems, strategies and tactics I now know, and teach my clients on how to monetize it effectively. What's the most common reason for people failing or giving up? They don't have a clear vision or goal and the right strategy in place to help them. So they end up going from distraction to reaction, and disappointment to disappointment, never quite reaching the outcome they had hoped for. What are you most proud of in your life? Overcoming the worst business failure and now being able to say that it is the best thing that could have happened, because had it not been for that failure, I wouldn't be where I am today. How do you define success? Getting back up stronger and even more determined, especially in the face of adversity. Being happy and content, knowing that I gave it my all and my best. Being better than the person I was yesterday. Leaving the world a much better place than I found it. Making a real difference in someone's life through my actions and my conversation. These things, and so much more, are what success means to me. What do you think your unique skills is that has helped you become successful? Being curious and fascinated about what makes people tick, alongside loving new technologies and challenging the status quo. It's those unique blends of strengths that are extremely handy when it comes to helping a business capture their unique stories in a podcast. What valuable lessons have you learned so far that you could share with our viewers? Nurture what comes naturally to you. Love what you do. Celebrate and learn from all of your failures. Don't let distractions and reaction drive your focus. Comparison crushes confidence. Is there anything new you are working on that you would like to share? My 90-day idea to launch your Thought Leader podcast immersive program, which I'll be running a few times a year and working closely with a group of changemakers and aspiring thought leaders where we'll be working on and launching their podcasts together. Where's your favorite place? Camping out in the middle of a bush where there's no one else around. Except for my husband as he cooks when we're away on holiday. What is your hobby? Love to swap my microphone for my camera, taking landscape and wildlife photography. Most embarrassing experience? I can't think of anything specific. I'm a firm believer in that if you can't have a good laugh at yourself, you're taking life too seriously. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move on. Plus, you've now got a hilarious story you can share around a campfire and have a good belly laugh at. What are you not very good at and what are you good at? Not good at changing a flat tire. Good at asking my husband, nicely, to change it for me. Which words do you overuse? You know what I mean? Your social media platform of choice? Instagram. When are you happiest? Exploring out in the middle of the bush with my camera or creating, writing. Your favorite movie or TV show? Lord of the Rings trilogy. What living person do you most admire? She just turned 100. A positive phrase you like to share with people. Stop focusing on what other people are doing. They don't have your unique blend of strengths, insights or message. Thank you for listening to this interview on The Global Interview. You can join the Global Interview newsletter at theglobalinterview.com.
Thank you for listening to this episode from The Global Interview. We appreciate your support. If you would like to find out more, please visit theglobalinterview.com.